Is it possible that you're acting out against your parents because you resent them?
What, do you think I'm pretending to be gay? I'm gay, all right? I'm gay. That's all there is to it.
I gotta find Maria. Listen, she knew the baby was safe. I can't. You have to leave her. I gotta find Maria.
Take it easy. You're not going.
Who's in charge here?
Get the line forms to the left.
I want to speak to somebody now about Flight 149.
Yeah, you and half of Pennsylvania, ma'am. Would you step aside?
No,
Let me take care
you
of
don't
people.
seem to understand. I was a passenger on that flight. I want to speak to somebody
ma'am,
now.
Excuse me. We have all had a very rough...
Excuse me. I want to speak to somebody now.
What are you doing? Oh.
Can I have everybody's attention? You may have heard about a flight last night that crashed in New Jersey, Flight 149. I was a passenger on that flight. I have to tell you, I was one of the few lucky ones who walked away from that flight, and nobody has offered me an explanation. I want to know why it happened. I've heard nothing about any reason why it happened, whether it was mechanical failure, whether it was pilot error, and I don't see how any of you standing in this line would buy tickets on this airline until I get some answers. Because they're answers for all of you, because they obviously don't care that people were killed on that flight. People died.
Okay, Doc, you tell me. Do we give the patient bad news before his triple bypass or after?
Well, in Dad's case, I would opt for after. God, when he hears about Maria.
He's gonna take it hard.
Well, can I see Confronting?
I don't know, let me check.
Well, who gave you these beauties?
I don't know, somebody in the book. Wait a minute. Where are you going with that television set?
Oh, well, honey, you know, when you were up in radiology this morning, I discovered that it
Every one of those sets
anymore.
has been replaced in the last 6 months. It should need a repair.
Dad, they're about to wheel you down to OR. Don't you think it's time to take off the grumpy chief of staff hat?
What would someone your generation know about hats?
Kelsey's outside. You want another visitor?
Why not? Everybody's coming by. It's like one long bon voyage party. Gloria hasn't come by. You two still haven't patched things up.
How are you feeling, Edmund? I know what you must be going through. No, I don't know what you're going through. I just wanted to let you know that my heart is with you and Maddie and Sam and... It's such a tragedy, Edmund. Maria was so special to so many people. What you need right now is time and privacy, but if there is anything else you need, anything, you tell me.
Don't go.
All My Children, brought to you by Pampers Baby Dry. Pamper your baby. Make them happy, keep them dry.
You were at the plane crash site, yeah? Yes. not sure what I was told. What I remember. What I dreamed. I was there. I flew my helicopter to the site. We spotted pieces of the plane before we got to the cliff. I remember being lifted. We brought you back here. You saved my life. No, Brooke and another passenger, Jim, risked their lives. They dragged you and the baby out of the plane. I didn't know if you were out of danger or not when I heard about the accident. You dropped everything and rushed to the crash site. Edmund, you would have done the same. Some things remain constant, no matter how hard I try to screw up. You'll always be my brother.
Look, I have to go to another appointment with Dr. Chapman.
How's that going?
I don't know, but I'm going home right after that. I want you to call me, okay? Tell me how Granddad's doing. Okay.
Thanks for checking in.
Dad, Gloria and I are fine.
But you're still in the outs.
Don't worry about it. Whatever's supposed to happen is gonna happen.
Excuse me, but in my country, when a granddaughter enters the room, she rates a hello.
Hello, Cassie.
Hi, Grandpa. I heard you talk to Mom.
I did. It's good to hear her voice again. Just wish Tara wouldn't worry so much.
That's like asking her not to breathe.
How's the world's worst patient doing?
Coping with the usual problems connected with surgery.
Jitters?
Yes, it is.
Ah. Well, now I think you have a little bit of business. Your secretary says that a very persistent gentleman is trying to reach you. In fact, her exact words are, pain in the, Dr. Chapman.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
So this has nothing to do with the surgery, does it?
You're right, it doesn't. Imagine him bothering Joe at a time like this. Now, just tell him to call back next week. Better yet, next year.
Got it.
Don't worry about it. Make sure he doesn't bother us.
Oh, he'd better not if he knows what's good for him.
You see, your grandmother, she really is a lioness.
Who is this Dr. Chapman?
A psychiatrist is trying to work his way out of the staff.
A quack who's trying to pass off a lot of babble as science.
What do you mean?
Whatever Dr. Chapman does has no bearing on our family. We have other things to deal with.
Dad, did you tell my secretary to get back to Chapman? Tell him not to call anymore and say, wait till he hears from me. Ease your mother's mind. Would you do that right now, son, please?
Sure.
Sweetheart, you think you could take my wallet and watch and all that stuff down in my office, please?
Sure, I'll be right back.
No. Take your time. No hurry. It's okay.
Okay.
You just got rid of them on purpose, didn't you?
I did.
Why?
Because you and I have some important things to talk about alone.
I just came from Pine Valley Hospital, where I had to tell my friend that his wife had died. I didn't have any reasons. I didn't have any statistics. I didn't have anything I could tell him. Because every time I've tried to get more information around here, they just give me the runaround. And hey!
Ms. English, hello. I recognized your name on the list of survivors. I'm a big fan of Tempo magazine, a subscriber for 5 years now.
Am I supposed to care?
I'm with customer services.
Well, you're off to a pretty bad start.
Yes, we are. Ms. English, I am so terribly sorry. Someone should have talked to you long before this, and I apologize for that. Is there anything we can do for you?
I think the truth would be nice for a start.
I wouldn't mind some of that myself.
Excuse me, are you involved with the Flight 149 incident?
It was a crash. It was a plane crash. That's what happened.
I'm Jim Thomason. You could say I was involved. I was on it.
What are you doing here?
Same thing you are. Now get somebody down here who can tell us why our plane crashed.
I can't believe that nobody has told us anything. I mean, nobody has offered us an explanation for this crash. I know when we were losing altitude, I heard this sound. It was like a gunshot. I know that.
Perhaps you would feel more comfortable with a little privacy.
Folks, I'm very sorry about the delay. Thank you for bearing with us. May I help the next person in line?
Now, naturally, we are launching a full investigation into the events that led up to the accident. But right now, our very first concern is you. How are you feeling?
This is not about me.
You have suffered a terrible shock. Now, your anger is perfectly understandable, of course. But we have brief counselors available who can help you deal with your issues.
The hell they can.
Miss English, I understand that you're very...
Do you understand what it's like to comfort a friend 1 minute and watch him die the next? It's something I'm going to have to live with the rest of my life, and I want to know why it happened.
Miss English, we are as eager to get to the bottom of this as you are. In fact, we have scheduled a press conference in just a few hours to tell everybody what we know so far.
Yeah, well, whatever you're going to tell the world in a few hours, you can tell us now.
It's not that simple.
Why not?
I'll bet you have every spin doctor in the business working on this, don't you? And they certainly have my sympathy, because I can't imagine it can be easy to take something that is a messy, fatal plane crash and turn it into something that is palatable so that it garners sympathy for this airline.
You obviously have a lot of rage you need to process. Really, perhaps you could give one of our counselors a chance.
How about you, Jim? You want to spend the morning with a grief counselor?
I think I'll pass, thanks.
Miss English, I assure you that
I'm sort of in the mood for some giant killing. How about you?
Count me in.
I think we should go. I don't want to be upgraded to first class on this airline, believe me.
What are you going to do?
Well, I can tell you one thing. When I am done, I think Tempo will have lost a subscriber.
Miss English, please. I'm so sorry for the disturbance, everybody, but we will take care of you as soon as we can.
Listen, I want to get Weintraub on the crash investigation because she has good contacts with the FAA. And that financial reporter that we just hired, I want her to dissect this airlines because they're dancing around this like they had a lot of practice.
Got it. Anything else?
Well, I'll have more assignments at the story conference.
What story conference?
The one I'm holding in 45 minutes. Alice, go on.
Okay.
Now, that's what I call dealing with your issues.
I guess it's obvious.
Well, you know, if you're going to bury yourself in your work, it's a good reason.
You know, after everything that went on and that happened, I didn't even ask, you know, why you were on the plane. Do you have family?
Brooke, let's not do this, okay?
Are you okay?
Yeah. For a guy who walked away from his own funeral, I got no complaints.
You know, I guess I've just been caught up in my own madness, and you were so sane and solid after the crash. It just never occurred to me how you might be affected, and I mean, no wonder you didn't say anything all the way back from the airport.
Yeah. Well, you know, as long as I concentrate on the simple stuff, I'm all right, but I can't think about the past without wondering what I could have done differently. And I can't think about the future without, you know, remembering I almost didn't have one.
Brooke! Oh, Laura told me you were here.
Oh, Aunt Phoebe.
God, you're all right.
I'm sorry I didn't call you. I'm okay.
Well, I'm not, darling. I've been sick with worry.
What are you doing here?
What am I doing here?
After your terrible ordeal, the question is, what are you doing here?
Are you feeling any pain? Must be the drugs. I feel nothing. Oh, Edmund, if there is anything that you need, anything at all, tell me. It'll be done. I feel fine. What about the kids? I can take care of Sam and Madeline if you want me to. Haley and Mateo have that covered. Edmund, I know this is hard. Have you given any thought to the arrangements? What kind of ceremony? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll come back later. No. I have to do this. Edmund, I can handle everything. A simple ceremony, the Wildwood Mausoleum. You get well. For Maddie and Sam, I will handle everything else. Thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you, Dimitri.
You know, my mom is going to be really grateful. I mean, it's going to mean a lot to her to get information from me firsthand.
That's great. I gotta tell you, Craig does not normally let anybody observe surgery. But in this case, for your father, he's making an exception. I have never seen a chief of staff command the kind of devotion he does. I mean, every single person in this hospital knows that Joe Martin is having surgery this morning. From the top surgeons to the cashier in the cafeteria. Everybody is praying for him.
Listen, we'll have plenty of time to talk after your surgery.
Let's be sensible. There are things we have to talk about. The location of the will.
On the bottom shelf in the bedroom bookcase, inside your copy of Grey's Anatomy. Oh, we go through this every time you go in.
Sure, easy. Now, the name of the lady at the insurance company.
Oh, please don't ask me about this now.
Mrs. Willoughby. Willoughby. Remember that name. Don't waste your time talking with the young guys. Once they have your money.
Joe, please, just positive thoughts. That's what you always tell your patients.
It's easier to take medicine than it is to take advice. I know. You think I'm worried about the surgery. And you're right. I am, of course. What's most on my mind, not the fear of dying. It's the thought of leaving you.
Oh, Joe.
So love you, sweetheart.
I know. And I love you.
Just wish we had spent more time together. All those trips we planned and never took.
Well, don't talk as if we won't.
If only I had it to do over again.
Joe Martin, stop that.
Stop what?
Talking as though you're not going to survive this surgery.
Just being realistic. My father never made it off the table.
Which was 30 years ago.
You're right. You're right. A lot of advancements made since then.
Which you've been bragging about for years.
You won't let me feel sorry for myself, will you?
Of course not. Because you have no reason to.
I'll tell you something. luckiest guy in the world to have a girl like you.
My Joe.
Oh, I should have knocked.
It's all right. We don't mind being caught smooching.
You want I should go out and come in again?
No, darling. It's all right. It's my day for inventory. The medication cabinet is calling. And you behave yourself. Hmm?
Mom okay?
It's better than okay. She's the best. How's Gloria?
Yeah, Gloria's fine.
Isn't she coming by this morning?
Well, I don't know. Maybe she couldn't get away.
But I did.
All My Children will be back in a moment here on ABC.
Aunt Phoebe, this is Jim Thomason. Jim, this is my aunt.
Hi, nice to meet you.
How do you do, sir? Are you sure you're all right, darling? A friend of mine was at the airport, and she called and told me that you made quite a scene.
Oh, they had more than that coming. You know, they care more about the reputation of the airlines than they do about the safety of their planes. They've been stonewalling me all day.
Sometimes you just have to go a little crazy or you might drive yourself nuts. Listen, I'm sure you want some time alone with your Aunt Phoebe, and I should secure up a hotel room, so I'll be in touch. It was very nice meeting you.
Thank you.
I'm just sorry it was under such unpleasant circumstances.
Yes, I know.
Bye.
Oh, darling, it's so dreadful about poor Maria.
I know. I was really grateful when people had heard because, you know, for the first few hours, most people I talked to, they didn't know, so I had to tell them that Maria was dead. And it was like she died all over again. I can't imagine, you know, how Edmund is coping with this.
But, sweetheart, how are you coping with it?
Look, I told you. Really, I'm fine.
Darling, how can you be? You haven't slept. You haven't been home to change your clothes. This is your Aunt Phoebe you're talking to, darling. I mean, how can you tell if you're all right?
Now, honey, don't go working yourself into a lather. I can't think of a better place to be sick in than PV Hospital. Joe is going to come through this with flying colors, I am sure.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, then if it isn't Joe, what is troubling you?
It's not Joe, it's Kevin's shrink.
Kevin told you about Doc Chapman?
Yeah, my grandparents were telling me about Dr. Chapman.
Now, I know you kids roll your eyes into the back of your head when you even hear the word shrink, but I'm telling you, Doc Chapman can do great things for Kev.
Well, I know he wants to keep things together with his family.
No, I mean even more than that. I think he can make Kev's whole life just a whole heap easier.
How?
Honey, in the game of love, Kevin is about to change teams.
Sit, both of you. Look, I've learned that one of the perks of facing mortality is that people seem to hang on one's every word. I don't know if it's because they think I have some kind of special insight at that point, or whether they just don't want to upset me in my condition.
Well, I can't answer for anyone else, but I've always listened to you, Joe.
Yes, I think you have. I hope you'll bear with me one more time. I know that you two are having difficulties.
I keep telling him not to worry about it, but
Go ahead, Joe.
All I want is you'll give yourselves one more chance, I hope.
Well, that that may not be too easy.
No one said it was going to be easy. Romance is easy. Love's hard work. Every couple finds that out sooner or later. And when they do, they can then figure out whether they have what it takes to spend a lifetime together. Now, I think you do. I've always thought that. So what I want to say is, if I don't make it through
Dad,
this business...
I don't even want to hear it, okay?
All right. Now, look, whatever happens, please, give yourselves every chance for happiness, huh? These chances don't come by all the time. And the two of you and Jamie, it makes sense.
Ah, three of my favorite people.
One of whom has to leave.
Well, thanks again for putting up with my musing. I do hope you'll think over what I said.
Of course not. God bless you, Joe. I'll see you in the recovery room afterwards, okay?
Okay.
Gloria?
Yeah.
Thanks.
For what?
For not destroying my father's dreams.
I love your father, Ted.
Well, he loves you too. I know this hasn't been easy for you, keeping the truth from him.
Well, I'd like to think that I wasn't lying, just telling him the parts of the truth that wouldn't hurt so much. I hope everything's going to be okay.
It will be. Has to be.
So, how's Jamie? Did he hear about Brooke and the plane crash?
No, not yet. He's at the beach with the Solomons, blissfully unaware.
Like your father. About us.
Yeah.
Gloria, they need you on 7, Mr. Wallerstein.
Okay, goodbye.
I'll tell Dad about you and Dimitri as soon as he recovers.
I thought I heard you talking to Gloria.
I was, but duty called.
Honey, I know how you feel about Gloria's bizarre marriage to Dimitri, but would she have really gone along the way she did with Joe if she didn't feel something
Ma,
for you?
Don't. Please.
I'll call later with delivery instructions. Yes, a standing wreath. Yes. That'll be fine. Oh, wait. Is there a color that symbolizes friendship? Then add a single yellow rose somewhere discreet. Thank you.
Don't you think it's time you took a break?
Why?
Because nobody expects you to be Iron Man.
I told Edmund that I would take care of everything. He's in no shape to handle it.
Are you?
I have to.
Edmund.
It's never gonna be okay.
Yes, it will be. It's gonna get better.
I don't want it to get better. I want it to stop.
I know. I'm sorry.
You were supposed to be with me forever.
And I will be. Always. I will be with you the very first time Sam helps Maddie cross the street. And I'll be with you when she loses her first tooth and when Sam gets too big to ride on your shoulders. I will be with you the day that you dance with Maddie at her wedding. And I'll be with you the night that Sam becomes the most incredible father, just like you. I'll be with you for all those moments. I'll be with you until we meet again. But I need your help.
What can I do?
Remember me.
Maria?
Well, now, nobody's saying there's anything wrong with Kevin the way he is. It's just that, well, it's obvious. He'd be much happier if he was the other way.
Or if people just left him alone. Trying to make a gay person straight is like trying to make Michael Jordan short. They're just born that way.
Well, I don't know. Doc Chapman says he's done it before, and he thinks that Kevin is an ideal candidate. I mean, just after all that mess that he went through with Jason going to prison and everything, nobody's more entitled to be confused than poor Kev. And I just am asking that you don't write off Doc Chapman, that's all. You know, it wouldn't be fair to Kevin.
What do you mean?
Well, it's only natural to want to be part of the bunch, isn't it? And after all, Kevin is everybody's favorite worthy cause, but I'm just wondering if deep down inside how happy he is. I mean, think of that thing he had with his college roommate.
Oh, ex-college roommate.
Yeah, well, he's going to be facing stuff like that his whole life if he stays like this. Look, I know how fond of it you are.
No, we're just friends.
Yeah, you're best friends. And Kevin has never needed your support as much as he does now. Look, if Doc Chapman can get Kevin to stop looking for love in all the wrong places and start looking right where it's always been under his proverbial proboscis.
Hey, Kelsey. Heard you looking for me. What's up?
Aunt Phoebe, what can I do to convince you that I am all right?
Well, for one thing, you can act as if you have been in a plane crash. Have you forgotten all about Jamie?
No. Not at all. Laura told me he's perfectly okay.
But does he know?
He's at the beach. He's with friends. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. If he saw me, he'd know. He'd see it in my eyes, and he'd hear it in my voice, and I don't want him to know. He's just a little boy. We're going to be fine. All right? We're going to sail through this. If you need to worry about somebody, worry about Edmund and those children. I mean, I am alive. Oh, thanks in a large part to that man that you just met.
And I am so grateful, darling. Believe me, I am so grateful.
Yeah, so it looks like my visit to Pine Valley, PA will be taking a little longer than I thought. Sure got off to a wild start, though. Yeah, not even a scratch. That's right. I tell you, that plane going down may have been the best break of my life.
Edmund wants the life he had before he stepped on that plane. He's not interested in anything else.
He will be. See, that's the terrifying part. The idea that no matter how bad this is, he's going to learn to live with it.
It's going to be a long road. I am ready to help him get there whenever he's ready to lean on me.
I'm sure he knows that.
I hope so.
As long as you know that while he's leaning on you, you can lean on me.
Dr. Martin?
Yes. Yeah.
That would be Doc Sr. this time. Just wanted to let you know that they're almost ready for you.
Well, thanks for the update. Oh, and thank you for finding Gloria.
Gloria?
Well, Gloria didn't realize that Joe's procedure was so early, and Allie very graciously went to find her so that your father and Gloria could have a nice little talk.
Well, now we're taking this guardian angel gig pretty seriously, aren't we?
Well, we run a very tight shift here at Pine Valley Hospital.
Well, looks like it's about that time.
But, first I have a little favor to ask.
Anything.
Well, actually, it's a promise. Do you know that favorite band of yours, the local one?
Archie Calloway and the Old Timers?
Well, they're playing in the park on Labor Day.
No kidding. They really are old timers, aren't they?
Do you remember?
Our first date.
Do you remember the song they played?
I'll get by. That was a golden oldie even then.
No, it was younger than springtime to me. Joe, will you, take me to the band shell again? Will you promise me the first dance on Labor Day?
Labor Day.
You never stood me up. Come on. Is it a date? Promise me.
I promise. Now, boys, I want you to drive carefully. Have a hot date. I can't miss.
Stay tuned for scenes from the next All My Children.
Tomorrow on All My Children.
Kevin, this is the nicest thing anybody's ever done.
You've got to eat something.
Later.
I'll help you.
I don't need help.
Maria is dead, and you're wondering about an envelope?